right, let's see what we got here. You guys can see what's going on. Good. Nobody yet? All right, good. There we go. There's somebody. Good. While I'm waiting, I'll welcome people. Then we will get started. All right, we are good. So welcome to Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I see a thumbs up, but I don't see anybody here. But I know somebody's here because somebody's thumbs up. There's somebody. And who beat who? She beat you to it. Welcome, Truth Tarot Readings. Welcome, Christopher Stant 989. Good evening. Good evening. Thumbs up to you guys. This isn't too revealing, is it? If I sit still? Yeah, it should be all right. I'll sit on it. I'll tuck it in my legs like a dress or something. It'll flash to everybody while I'm talking. So good evening. Welcome back to Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I am Tobias Josephson, and this is the channel where we approach the paranormal differently. Look sharp, huh? I'm just wearing this trench with the sleeves rolled up. So we are continuing the mini hunts this week. Everybody seems to enjoy the mini ghost hunts. Unfortunately, we will not be doing them outside today. It is about to rain, unfortunately. That being said, I do believe we can get away with that cemetery I told you is closed. I think there's a way in, and so that's what we're going to do. Not sure what's going on there. Not sure. Computer said something like it'll have to restart. So if it dies, it's not me. So we are continuing the mini hunts. Everybody seems to like the mini ghost hunts. We're going to keep doing them, but we're going to have subtle themes tied in as we go through our mini hunts. And this week will be no different because we have a celebration coming up called Beltane. Most normal folks or religious people might know it as a different name called May Day. All right, and so tonight's title is Beltane and the Full Moon Investigation. We're going to be talking about how the moon affects us during the full moon, etc., how that might possibly be affecting paranormal investigation, and then we're going to be talking about celebrating or observing Beltane. Cool, awesome. We had two other people in here who apparently have no attention spans, or they just have bad feeds. That's all right. I will continue. I was going to say welcome, but there is two of you here. I've already said welcome to you. So tonight is mini hunt number 6, and it is during or inside a Beltane cycle. And also, we'll be observing it under a full moon as well, and a Scorpio full moon. And Scorpios are the most transformative sign in the entire zodiac. We've probably died without actually physically passing on multiple times, personality wise, emotional wise, characteristic wise, uh, personal visage wise. We transform everything. You'll have to excuse me, I have mild gallbladder attacks and mild pancreatitis. I get occasional bowel obstructions because of my stomach. So there you go. So because I have these, okay, I have a lot of unfortunate silent illnesses, etc. And so today was no different. I feel well enough to stay on camera. So that's always a good one. So we're going to talk about these conditions, Beltane and the full moon during this lunar and pagan cycle. What those conditions mean, and the question is whether the paranormal field or the paranormal environment will change, or do we change? That's what we're looking for. Okay. Who else do we have in here? Uh-huh. I'll be okay, man. I've been dealing with this for. I'll tell you guys a backstory before we use the script as a guide. So I was born 3.5 months early, premature. Okay, I was supposed to be born in February, and so I have a lot of damage. That's what happened here. That's why I'm short. The surgeries are why I can't gain weight, etc. And then you put myself through addiction, and so your body pays for it. Okay. I That's why I'm always a warrior, right? Because I don't make myself a victim. If I'm well enough to stand, I'm well enough to do a podcast. So we want to see, all right, if we put containment to paranormal investigation. And if you don't know what containment protocol is, it means containment over chaos, evidence over egos. Okay, we have a field manual that we use here at Paranormal Witchcraft, and it's pretty much using logic, checking the environment, checking the location histories, looking at everything from the outside in before you jump to it's a ghost, it's a spirit, etc. Okay? So, a containment statement we're going to make here. We are not summoning or provoking this week. Okay? We want everyone out there in public world to know that. All right? We are simply observing stimulus and response behavior under environmental variables using paranormal witchcraft, except for Friday. Okay? Friday is going to be titled Mini Hunt number 10, but at the end, we're going to do a ritual for those who want to stay. For those who do not, I'm going to ask those people to leave the room. Okay, but we are going to do a little bit of ritual here together on Friday with you all, if you're all brave enough. It's pretty much going to be a follow along. Uh, Truth, Tara, and Chris, or whoever is here, if you're planning on being there, you'll just stay in the stream, okay? And I'll have an altar set up. I'll probably use this all week as our table, okay? And leave the camera right where it is on the laptop. And I'll probably put a different table next to us where we can do the ritual. And that way, all we have to do is take the camera and just kind of pan it over, and you guys can follow along, okay? And we can make it a little bit longer of a live stream. Actually, because I just remembered, I told you guys it might be outside because I want to fire up the fire pit for Beltane. Now, I tried last night in the wind, it wouldn't stay lit. So, officially, it's had its cherry pop, but officially, it has not been officially used the first time. I'm waiting for Friday. So, that being said, we want everybody out there who's religious, who might follow the channel, who might thinking of of shouting Yahweh in the crowd, go ahead and do it. Okay, if that makes you feel good, whatever you got to do to feel safe in this channel. We truly don't mean anybody any harm. All right. We're looking for the variables. What kind of variables can we change in our paranormal experiments, my friends? What do you guys think? Do you have anything to offer in the crowd there? Type some answers. First thing that pops into your head. No? All right. So for us, here's the variables we're going to be looking at. Beltane and the seasonal threshold energies. The Scorpio full moon, which I believe Chris can reaffirm here, is called the flower full moon. Is it, Chris, if I remember? It's called the Truth Tarot might follow astrological cycles better than myself as well. Still teaching myself Wheel of the Year and what full moon we're under. Flower water ritual. No, the moon. What full moon is it? I can look it up and have the answer in 2 seconds to remind me. I want to say it is the flower or pink. What is the name of the Scorpio full moon ahead?
The Scorpio full moon.
Okay.
Happening on May.
Pink moon, full flower moon. Gotcha. All right. Thank you, friends. So that being said, we want to see if those heavy, transformative, and full moon energies coupled with the Beltane energies would affect paranormal investigations. So this week, that's going to be our experimenting theme behind the hunts. So the equipment set you guys see behind you is the trustworthy Ouija EMF. All right. Then we have Epoch Box on the left here. Can you see it? Yes. I don't think you guys can see it quite as good as I want you to. So let's put that there. Okay. That way you can see the lights when they light up. Okay. And you guys can tell me if they do something, hopefully. Without it falling. There we go. See if we can't get some extra light on it. Okay. So we'll turn this on in a minute, and then we'll turn this on, and we'll see what happens. So that's the equipment set. It'll be the EMF Ouija board hybrid device, okay, and the Epoch box. And the experiments are obviously we're going to use containment, and then after we see what happens with containment, we're going to turn around and use what everyone else uses, okay, and see what happens. Oh, my bad. I should have read my script first. First, we're going to try Beltane stimulus. I like it. I like it. Introducing symbolic labeling. Observe any changes in perception versus any changes in activity we may credibly get or validate here together. Okay. The second one's going to be full moon pressure test. We're going to activate the Ouija protocol. We're going to get one question only this time. Does expectation influence response, though? I want everybody in the crowd to think about this question ahead of time. Does expectation of either us turning on the Epoch box or the hybrid device, the Ouija EMF, breed some form of expectation in your brains or your subconscious right now? Be honest. Say yes or no in the comments, please. Okay? This is what I love about the paranormal. We're experimenting with it. Basically, if we strip it down, investigation is nothing more than, if you think about it, it's a lot like experiment in a laboratory. Okay, we're testing the spiritual realm to see what happens when we use certain devices. Okay, so in the same manner, we're kind of like in a field laboratory, if you will. Okay, you changing the variables, much like scientists will in a real laboratory, or even the mad scientist, or even the most famous of them all, Dr. Frankenstein, right? It's alive. Okay. The containment check is this. Okay. Evaluate casuality order, not interpretation, meaning let things happen organically. Don't try to pressure the devices. Don't try to interrogate them. Don't try to harass them. Don't try to put your fingers in their face. Remember, demons and lowly level spirits don't really necessarily have to possess us to show us their power. Remember, they can afflict us in different ways. They can make you dizzy, they can make you nauseous, they can make you faint, right? They can do all kinds of things. They don't necessarily mean or need, sorry, to possess you. So stop asking them to. Trust me, I don't think you'd like what happens. That being said, okay, let's turn this on and see what happens. Are you guys ready to do the paranormal investigations now? Let's rock. By the way, welcome to the jungle means we like to have fun and games here on Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. As a team, when we go out and collaborate with other teams like Matt Hornick, Monica, and friends from Blue Mountain Paranormal, or if Mr. Ryan K from Evidently Paranormal gets back from Arizona in time, I would like to physically go meet him and collaborate as well. And that being said, my friends, before we turn these on and I forget again, brother Sid Ryder is a person on Facebook you all should get get to know fairly soon. He is a fellow pagan practicer, okay? But what he does is his expertise is radio, okay? So he has an app on Google for Wizard Radio. Please go give that man some love, okay? Uh, we talked briefly this morning in between my appointments, and he really wants to invite me onto his show next month when schedules allow. Okay. I guess he didn't realize I was such a metalhead. Okay. And so, welcome to the jungle. That's what it means. It's much like the song. Okay. You can have anything you want. Okay. You just better not take it from us. Okay. And everybody seems to love that song. And so it seemed a fitting mantra to teach everybody is that we like to party down and have fun and be serious, but have fun together. But we also don't take any fucking shit. All right. Just like the song. So, welcome to the jungle. All right. And then you have that part. Do you know where you are? All right. I'm not going to scream and freak out my neighbors behind me. All right. So I just wanted to clear that up before we started the investigation. I don't think a lot of people realize what exactly it means when you go join Paranormal Witchcraft LLC on Facebook. The admins will say, "Welcome to the jungle." Okay. That's what it means. Okay. It means we like to rock. All right. It means we're a little rough around the edges, kind of like bikers. All right. But we're sweethearts underneath. All right. At least in my mind, that's what it was supposed to say. I'm sorry. Hanging out like a rock star in front of everybody. Without further ado, let's turn these bad boys on. I think I'm going to turn the epoch box on first. Start these mini hunts. All right. Now, please remember, I have candles, ironically, and this might mess with some of your brains, at every point on the pentacle. That's right. This is sitting inside an actual Ouija board. All right. With a Ouija board on top of it, just because I figured why not? Let's just amp these variables right the F up. So let me know, all right, if our friend TZ shows up through the epochs or if something starts blinking, okay? You're going to see that. All right. I didn't even say anything yet. Okay. Now, that being said, guys, let's remind the audience of the Beltane energies for this mini hunt number one. All right. We're going to have a couple mini hunts in the live stream. That's why it's called mini ghost hunts, if anyone couldn't figure it out. Thank you for saying no and yes. All right. So remember, we are trying to add Beltane energies into this ghost hunt real quick. All right. So we have Beltane. Okay. And Beltane is, for the audience who don't know, it is Beltane, all right, which is known in the pagan circles as. He's going to agree with us before I even read you the statement. So I guess since you heard it on YouTube, it must be true. There's a crappy dad joke. Ha! So, Beltane is literally known, my friends, before our friend here, feeling froggy, interrupted us again and cut us off. I like it. You're spicy today, motherfucker. So, the Beltane celebration is also known. Can I get the sentence out, bro? Let's try again. It's known as the fire of life. Okay? The fire of desire and the fire of creation. Whew, man, I didn't think I was ever going to get that out. What's up, bro? You got some things you want to say? We also have opened up the Ouija EMF if you want to fuck around with that. We have some comments here I saw in my peripheral. Sid, yes, I did. Awesome guy. Awesome. Give that guy a look up, man. That channel's blowing up, and I'm recommending everybody to go check them out. I also recommend everybody to go check out our other partners, Witch Finder Dating Social Coven. It is not just it is not just a dating app. Okay, I'm here to tell you all it has way more to offer there than just being a place for finding your special someone. Okay, I think that what they are doing is wonderful stuff, and you will find Paranormal Witchcraft LLC there. Okay, as one of the business partners, you will also find me in there. Okay, I also post things like when Patreon is. I post this channel's information there. I post Patreon and YouTube, etc. Okay. Well, thank you for the communication. You notice how we're using containment over chaos. We're not performing. We're not using any form of sensationalism here. My voice is monotone. I'm holding the authority of the environment. Yes, I am. By arguing with the spirit here. Stop arguing with me. The investigator is always right, even when the spirit is wrong. Ooh. No. Ah, feeling froggy today. It's almost a paranormal comedy session. Where are you at, Matt Rife? Matt Rife does. Would you stop talking? Matt Rife travels with a buddy. Some of you might know who he is. I think he's a little asinine in personality, just a complete fucknut. But hey, man, he seems to be a happy guy. So he is the owner of Overnight, and I think he's absolutely over the top for absolutely no reason. All right, I'm not going to tell you his name, but he ain't afraid of nothing. He does some crazy shit. Stop arguing with us. So think of those energies, okay? Think of on May 1st, you're going to be relighting the fire of life, the spark of life inside some of you, literally, all right? Especially if you've been manic depressive lately or growing through it. All right, we have some mystery diagnoses going on. No shit. Okay. So we're going to be relighting our desires, all right? And Beltane is also popularly known for the fertility rituals that a lot recognize, we'll put it that way, for YouTube safely, I hope. Okay, but it's not just about the act of. Remember, it's going to be about bringing back that feeling to your relationships, the love. No. What do you mean, no? You just want us to use them and abuse them? No? Okay. You're not touching that epoch box, man. All right. You are? You're thinking about it? Hello? You're there. Okay, you didn't answer me. Are you thinking about using the epoch box? I'm waiting. We're waiting. We're excited. Nothing? All right, I'll continue. No. I think you're just being a shithead today, huh? Are you being a shithead? There you have it. You can't make that up. So I want you guys to remember that, okay? Introducing this spicy energy, it may have just caused an argument with the spirit. A little debate there. He didn't like that spicy stuff, okay? He didn't like that fire energy. So now we're going to shut this mini hunt down, okay? I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to close this. No. What do you mean, no? I have to turn you off so I can turn you back on and do another ghost hunt. Please? Because then we're going to introduce the full moon energies for another mini ghost hunt, and we would like you to fuck around with the Ouija board. No. You don't want to fuck around with the Ouija board. Why not? Well, you can only say yes or no, so let's see. Are you not interested in messing around with the Ouija board EMF now? You're not going to answer me. Okay. But remember, most people will approach Beltane wrong. So try not to be one of those people, and we'll try to help make sure you are one of the ones that are looking at it for the right reasons. And for the week ahead, just so you all know, my intention will be wealth for the ritual, not just monetary. Okay, there's many other ways and meanings you can use with the word wealth for a ritual. Okay, it'll be meant to be used in a form for, personal abundance, personal prosperity, but also for some close friends, collaborations, partners, etc. And so it'll kind of be like wishing abundance and prosperity for others as well. Okay. Just remember this year it meets a strong ass Scorpio full moon. And that being said, we're going to close this mini investigation down. Okay? You're just going to have to like it, bud. Or not. Yes. Yes. Okay, now he likes it. All right. I don't think there's anything here. But just in case, we're going to open and close. Turn it off. I don't think we're going to get anything using a planchette. So for the second one, introducing full moon energies. All right, we're going to turn Grumpy Pants here back on. We're going to turn Ouija EMF back on without the planchette. We're not going to turn it into a seance. We're just going to keep it as a hybrid device for the mini investigation. And to remind those in the crowd, okay, we are looking at full moon pressure test next. Activating the Ouija EMF, okay? So we are speaking directly to any spirits that may be in the general area That means if you're on this block and you can hear my voice and you want to jog right on over or whatever it is you do in the realm and speak through the Ouija EMF, we would really appreciate that. We only get one question for this test, so we're going to make it a good one. If there is something that wants to communicate with us tonight through the Ouija EMF hybrid device, please make one of those lights blink at any given time during the remaining portion of this mini ghost hunt. So, that being said, my friends, the question is to you guys: does expectation of something happening, is that crawling in the back of your brain? Are you watching these lights? Are you watching the device? Are you subconsciously expecting something to happen? Are you expecting that to make something happen? Great question, huh? Makes your brain go, I don't know, let me check. And that's the point. We want people who want to go down the rabbit hole and not just ask deep questions, ask really deep questions, not just the deeper questions. We want to jump off the deep end, okay? You want to go into the abyss, all right? Ask a question so deep you're not sure you're going to get your sanity back, because that is how we make positive, progressive changes to paranormal investigations. To make it happen, right? And Chris says, yes, he likes giving me crap. He does. He does. How do we know it's a he, though, right? We don't. Okay. I realized something today. My hair's long enough to poke up behind my ears, and yet I never do it. My hair's very long. Not sure why I don't just do this Jesus thing, but there you go. All right. So, probably because I have such a big forehead, if we raise up here. Yeah.
No.
I don't have a big forehead. Well, that's nice. That makes up for all the shitty stuff you said. It really doesn't matter, man. It doesn't bother me. I get a kick out of you. Thank you for the engagement. You help the show. So, my friends, the question we want to ask the Ouija board, anything that's in the area, if you're here, we get one question. Were you somebody that lives here? And if so, can you make the light above yes move? Blink. Okay? Remember, we are here to observe. After we get that one question, we opened up the protocol using the Ouija EMF hybrid device. Now we're going to observe. I don't see anything happening. It's this one. I'm looking at the right one. Hopefully you guys are as well. Whoops, I don't want to touch. Nothing yet. Okay, we're going to give you one more chance. If there's anything here in this general location, in this house, on this block, or you can hear my voice, I don't know, maybe they have hearing like dogs and cats for all we know, because there's so much silence, they can pick up our voices like echoes. All right, kind of like if they were in a valley and someone yelled on the top of a cliff, I think they would hear us a couple miles away. That's one of my goofy theories, is that maybe.
No.
Never mind, I was wrong. Oops, we took you guys out of the frame there. And you just said no, no, no. All right, so I was wrong. All right, so nothing clearly wants to communicate tonight, okay, using the Ouija protocol, but something very clearly is very comfortable using the epoch box. So what I'm going to do is close down the Ouija protocol, all right, part of this mini hunt and continue using the epoch box. So thank you. We're going to say goodbye now. No need to come through on the Ouija device, and we are turning you off. Thank you, and one of these days we will get you to react. I believe we did a couple weeks ago. Thank you once again. Nothing but respect. All right, we'll put this up there. All right, you guys can see that good? Good. So the idea is that we sit to observe, and we're here to evaluate. Things happen organically. Okay, we don't really want to be kicking in the door all the time. I know it gets ratings, and I know it gets clicks, and I know it's more popular, and I know it's more action packed and probably more exciting. But this is being a responsible paranormal investigator, to always come at each hunt with a form of skepticism, because that way, when us as investigators who are using responsibility, all right, because we want to catch real, credible, and validating evidence, when we do catch that shit, we don't have to worry about going through it. 50% of the time, it is even better stuff, right? 50% of the time, it may or may not be something environment we didn't think about. But when we come from a place of skepticism, respect, okay, and responsibility, more often than not, the evidence you do catch is phenomenal, okay? Because you've trained yourself to kind of put a filter out there, right? So you don't look like everybody else, you don't sound like everybody else, you don't act like everybody else, you don't hunt like everybody else. That's why we say on this channel, we approach the paranormal differently. So tonight, there really isn't very many conclusions, okay? We did once again change the variables twice, all right? That's why we call these mini hunts, all right, instead of experiments. There are hunts that we can do together within about 20 minutes, okay? And that gives people a reason to click. It gives other people a reason to click and learn something, etc. So there were no conclusions, all right? I truly believe in the paranormal. There truly aren't really that many conclusions. Like, even when somebody says, well, it's a demon, or even if they get its name, sometimes I'm not so sure, because demons play a lot of tricks on humans. Okay, they could be saying they're a certain demon, etc. And there's just so many unknowns we don't know in the spiritual, metaphysical, and supernatural that is the paranormal realm. Okay, and it's fascinating. And so I will always say there's really no conclusions, and that's what makes the passion grow so much with people like myself and my buddy Matt, Monica, Tasha, and friends. Okay, even buddy Phil and Natalie on Dogman Teeping and Dogman Teepee Hunting and Friday Night Lights. They come to it, all right, every time, all right, in that excitement. And there really isn't any conclusions, really. Even, say they spot a dog man or whatever, Natalie goes out and hunts, right? That's what drives us back, is we go to those locations not expecting to see anything, all right? And that's what makes the evidence so much more phenomenal. Only documented response under very controlled conditions. That is what paranormal investigation should be. Now, feel free, if you want to turn on every single device you own, like all the kids do, all right? But it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to catch a ghost, you're going to catch a passed over loved one, you're going to catch a shadow figure, you're going to catch John Wayne Gacy. I don't know what people are hunting anymore, okay? They're hunting all kinds of things. Anything they can put their imagination to, by the looks of it. We have some comments. Do you think we force it to? Well, that's why I started the live streams after I started the business, because we started this business, Chris, with trying to offer spiritual attack services. So much like the Lorraines and many others out there who don't really advertise per se, but say you thought you had a haunting, that's what we were going to do. Holly or Kyle or Sandy or Alex or myself and Richard would drive to people's house, see what's going on, okay? And it would be as people could afford basis, etc. All right, and we would see what we could do about that. But here's what happened. Okay, we had 12 cases, and half of them were fuck around, find out cases. Most of them were people trying to get back at other people and not telling us that. All right. We kind of figured out early on something didn't add up, etc. And so I'll refer those people to uh, groups on Facebook for beginners. All right. That's where you belong. All right. They have staff there, people who devote their time there in service to help beginners. Don't come to people like myself. All right. You can go to my buddy Alex. He's a witch for hire. All right. And some of the people who work with me are. Okay. But that's the idea is we want only documented, credible, validated evidence. All right. So we can show responses under controlled conditions, meaning only data that happens under controlled conditions. So if we get a shadow figure, if we get Beelzebub, if we raise Zozo, all right, if we do necromancy on our hunts, etc., to stir the spirits, all right, it's because we come from a place of discipline. It's because we come from a place of responsibility. It's thank you. I forgot you were on. Holy shit. That's a really long mini hunt. Let me turn him off. Thank you so much, or it. I should probably call it. I don't even want to call it it. Thank you, Spirit. I'm going to call you Spirit. We don't know what kind of spirit you are, or if you're an environmental data point. All right. Either way, this is something we will be talking about more on our Patreon channel, which is Thursdays at 2 p.m. Would you like to make a quick 2-sentence post about that, either Truth Tarot or Chris, anyone who's been to Patreon channel, and kind of give an idea of what people would be joining or how it works, if you like it, etc. So what we're going to be doing every Thursday at 2 p.m. on Patreon, find Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. I believe it's called Paranormal Laboratory. And that's where we will talk about containment over chaos, evidence over egos, protocols towards our ghost hunts. All right, so we're going to say goodnight for the night. All right. Lots of respects to you over there in the spirit realm. Blessings. Have yourselves a good night. We don't need anything creepy or shitty to happen. Blessings. Marry me. Are we documenting the field of paranormal or teaching it to respond? So that's a great question, Chris. Are we teaching the equipment what we want and when we want it and how? Are other investigators doing that by repeatedly going to Penhurst and doing the rally circuit of paranormal and speaking like everybody else? That's what I'm trying to ask, and that's why we're growing so slowly. Apparently, Chris, I've hit a nerve. Okay, because if I didn't hit a nerve and I was doing something exciting in a different way, we would be growing by the hundreds weekly, wouldn't we? Okay, that's how I know we have hit a nerve here, paranormal witchcraft, because these are things people don't ever want the public to be talked about. Okay, these are the little hooks that they want people to believe. Every hunt is, right? And so I've even started doing it for the channel here because it just subliminally gets people. But I'm only using it for YouTube. Okay, cross my black little heart and hope to die before you all if I don't. Okay, but I'm only using it for the YouTube channel because all my friends who are content creators say, dude, what are you, dumb? And I'm like, well, I really have a problem with spending all day long with AI. And they're like, you don't have to. Just make these little thumbnails for whatever your title is going to be, put your picture in it, whatever you're going to use, and be done. I was like, oh, okay. But I don't want to be viewed as one of the type who are like TikTokers and all they do is make the AI meme things with Chat or Canva or Manus now. Okay. I'm kind of old school that way. That's why we say welcome to the jungle here on our channel. Okay. We like to rock it out. I'm a little old school, a little country, a little rock and roll, a little biker, but I'll give you the shirt off my back. We want to make sure we're documenting everything in the paranormal field and teaching it responsibly to take that closing statement where we say, are we documenting the paranormal field or are we accidentally, inadvertently teaching it to respond? Well, I don't know what was going on there. So that being said, let's discuss what Beltane is for everybody at home who may not know. Beltane, haha, I went backwards. Got it. So Beltane is what I like to call desire. All right. The desire sonnet, because we're talking about our fertility when we relight the flames. But back in the day, truth be told, all honesty, historically accurate, farmers back in the day used to light giant bonfires, all right, in their fields to honor Beltane as the sun came up. And what they'd do is they would pass their cattle or their herd through the smoke to bless, all right. You get the idea. Okay, so now you can understand where the lighting of the fires came in. And then, of course, obviously, they would do other blessings together. They would do fertility rituals, uh, showing each other how much they loved each other as the fires were burning. And it's said that that relights the flames also during Beltane for our relationships. And I'm going to go a step further. Why can't we relight the flames of our working relationships, our partnerships, our friendships, our collaborations, family, friends, all that? Makes sense. Okay. And by the way, Beltane is the halfway point between the spring equinox and the beginning of the summer equinox. Okay. So I would like to touch back on pagan history and accuracy every now and then and sneak it in there. So that way you guys are getting just a little bit of witchcraft so we don't offend everybody. Yes, you do, my love. Yeah, you are. Let me see, friends, if I can use my psychism for our friend. I didn't see you walk into the room, but we are lighting candles. Have been. Love. All right. I was actually up early enough to receive a phone call that I've missed all week. I had to get up at 6:30 a.m. this morning, my time, which I believe was 7:30 your time, and we could have caught up. So I did make a couple posts in your behalf. I do have Chris, friends, and a few others actually between last week on this channel, Patreon, and in Brotherhood Lives. They got 3 last week. I have mentioned the Georgia wildfires and the need for the love. So I'm lighting candle after candle after candle after candle. And part of me wishes I had a week or so to just get in my fucking car and take the little tent thing I have and see what I can pitch in. But again, what the hell am I going to do down there to help out? You know? Try to help find people. I don't know, but nonetheless, I want to send energy, etc. Y'all, your way, y'all. Okay, in the welcome to the jungle fashion. Don't mess with my friends down there in Georgia. Okay, they are protected by Tobias Josephson as well. That they are sisters and brothers down there from another mother. Okay, I hope you all are surviving. Okay, remember, we got to survive this thing. That's the most important part. We have some comments Beltane the Great. Yes, I promised some people who are in the crowd, wink, wink, that I was going this route, the Wheel of the Year, because the Brotherhood needs it. I know you're over fires, my love, but I hope this fire in my fire pit lights the fires of hope again and relights all the sparks of the relationships I have lost in the last year as well. And it relights some experience, strength, and some fucking hope on this fucking planet before we snuff each other out with the hate and the arguing and the backstabbing. And you get the idea. And to the people in the crowd who think I have an eye closed, I do not. It's a double pupil. It is dying. I went to the eye doctor today, and the optic nerve is weak. So if you view it as a light bulb, okay, my retina should be letting light in like the light behind the camera there, but instead it acts more like a candle flame. And so when I close my eyes, I can't even make myself out on screen. I can't even make out the computer. I can barely make out the top of my cigarette snuffer. There's just no sight here. The only reason we kept the eye is because I can see stuff from here over. If you come from over here, I can't see shit. Can't file for disability, so it just gets worse. So please ignore the eye. We have some comments, so I'm hoping to light some fires under the fucking world. Some hope, some love. And by the way, Miss Beautiful in the crowd, every single live stream is touching on the dual diagnosed. Every single live stream now is touching on the recovered out there. I want people to understand what warrior means. It doesn't mean being a warrior of life, especially right now. Okay? It means so many other things. It does, but it doesn't. You do need to be a warrior right now down there in Georgia just to survive. But beyond that, we're talking about what it means to be a warrior in every stream, what it means to be a warrior as a paranormal investigator, what it means to be a warrior as a pagan. Okay. I'm a solitary eclectic, right? But I lean a lot into the pagan. Okay. And so the idea is, what is it about our mentalities? What is it about our dual diagnosis? What is it about my past and addiction? What is it about my history as a child that brought us here? And that's the point of the lives, bringing a little bit of the human touch back, a little bit of the educations on why we might be who we are in the world. Okay, so Beltane is the fire of life, the fire of our desire. Holy shit, I'm gonna flash people and they're gonna shut me right down. OnlyFans, where are you at? They didn't want me either. Can't handle gypsies like me, I guess, anymore. I think I said something a couple weeks ago is I'm a straight man through and through, but most people who just meet me probably swear to God I am bi, and I am not. I rock this look because I can. I tried to explain it last week why I adopted the rocker look. It was easy. Axl Rose and Jelly Roll and all those motherfuckers grew up in the cracks of society like I did. They were in the system. They were an orphan. They were homeless too. They didn't barely have anything to eat. Their parents were shit. Okay. So I obviously subconsciously adopted the look. Right. Then I became a witch. Apparently, it's a problem for some that if you look like a rocker, apparently I'm just too loud to be a practicer, and that's why people don't like me. And the world's just wilding right now, man. Just wilding. And so the Beltane fire for me is to relight all those passions that I lost. I lost some best friends, people who said they were my best friend, and those sisters don't come anywhere near me anymore. Okay? So Beltane is a lot for me as well. But we can't always come from a place of emotionalism. Okay. We have to take that emotionalism and use it in shadow work. So that way, when I do the ritual for wealth in Beltane, all right, I can close those cycles. All right. But hopefully relight the sparks in those relationships. Relight the desire, relight the life again in those relationships. Sorry about my vision, it happens. Sabbath of the living sacred fire, and Miss Southern Fires there would know. Okay. For the females in the crowd, that person is a person I would recommend. Okay. She ain't got time right now to help people out that way. Okay. But if she says something in the crowd, she is as good as Tobias. Okay. I want you all to know. All right. That is a legit practicer in the crowd. And respect is law on this channel. Please remember from last week's hoo-haws. Okay. I don't know who those people were. All right. I'm over it now. But remember, wherever I am on camera, respect is law. And if I see disrespect, you're going to be sat down. Okay. Love and respect are law in my channel. So thank you. We don't want people to approach Beltane in the wrong way. Doesn't matter if you're a paranormal investigator either out there, okay? I know lots of you that are practicers. What I don't see is lots of you getting up on camera as paranormal investigators and personal practicers like I am and showing folks and helping me, all right? Remove the stigma of witches who are psychics, intuitives, warlocks, that are paranormal investigators, okay? Because there's so many people who are religious on the other side. I believe that's truly one of the problems is that stigma. They're afraid of it. And we have to talk that dark away, okay? We are no different than anybody else just because we practice and they go to church. All right? That's the only difference. We need that stigma wall to crumble. Enough is enough. It is 2026. You can hide behind your profiles all you want, my friends. All right. But it's not meant to be a human shield forever. Okay. Just some friendly advice from your neighborhood maniac here, Tobias Josephson. Okay. This is Beltane, the sacred fire. Okay. I'm actually going to call it what it is, the Sabbath of the living sacred fire. So let's treat it like that this year, even if you're a paranormal investigator, even if you're a pagan, even if you're a new hat like Chris or a new broom like someone else, doesn't matter. Most people will approach it wrong. They'll chase a pleasure without any direction and wonder why their casting is a boomerang. All right. And why they fucked around and find out. Let's not tell them. Okay. They should know better as practicers. I am still blown away by the amount of new people coming into the practices that have no sense of responsibility or how to approach the discipline. But I'm going to keep trying. Okay. I don't know how many times I just shake my head when I look at other groups every morning having my coffee. Sometimes I spit my coffee out and go, why? Why are we posting those things? It's not what it means to come into spirituality, young ones. Okay? Most will chase a pleasure without direction. They'll make it sexually based. They'll call it a ritual, blah, blah. All right? Others will chase a desire without structure or discipline for Beltane. And that's not what we do here on this channel at Paranormal Witchcraft. That's not what I do as a practicer. And as practicers, all the males in Brotherhood of Male Witches do not approach Beltane that way. Okay? So let's just not. Okay? Pull your pants up. All right? From hanging off down by your knees or whatever it is the young kids do now. Pull your pants up. Sit up straight. All right? And look like a human being. Act like a human being for a little bit. And you might get better return. So, channeling is the better approach we should be using for Beltane, especially with the Scorpio full moon. I am a Scorpio, 11/11. Okay. Environment cleansed. You can use sound, all right, just like that, to cleanse the environment. All right. Now, if there was something lingering here, that automatically also helps clear negative spirits. Wink, wink. I'll just wink with the half dead one. It's easier, I think. This is going to be about growth. This is what I'm going to make it about. We're going to do a ritual together, okay, at the end of the mini hunt on Friday. Those who do not wish to participate you can leave the room. Okay, if it's gonna make your panties wad up and choke you to death, all right, please leave the room after the mini hunts. Okay, and then I will have something set for us. Okay, that we can do. And then for the Brotherhood of Male Witches, all right, we will be doing something together as well. Probably the same thing, but that way the business and the groups get the ritual and Brotherhood of Male Witches. And as soon as I know everything's kosher in there by my admin, I will be returning lives to the Brotherhood of Male Witches unless people want to silently twist my arm to keep them on my personal page. I can't even tell if that thing winks. Ah, okay. People are worrying about Kyle. Kyle's working all kinds of hours, and it's affecting his group, the occult. I can tell by the way he's wording things, etc. And so, if Southern can do me a solid, okay, check in with him and make sure he's doing enough for self care. I think he's taken a couple of things I've said in as friendly advice and kind of got ruffled and doesn't want to tell me. And again, I'm going to say it, my friends around me, I'm psychic. How many times I can tell you that? Just because you're going to tell me something I'm not going to like does not mean I'm going to stop being your friend. And I'll tell you what I told them, right? Is that amount of growth over there in a week is scary, right? The Brotherhood experienced it, so be careful. Some of those smarty pantses can get through the questions and whatnot. And even though you're trying your ass off to vet them, is what I said to Kyle. Be careful. Some of them might come through. Be careful for drama and red flags, right? Because I think one week they grew 2,000 people. That's a lot, okay? And in that 2,000 people, believe it or not, you might have one that's waiting, and that might cause problems. And so I warned him to be very careful, and I think it was taken in the wrong light. So the question is, what in your life that you are ready to fully live? And we talked about that, I believe, early last week. Thank you, love. You are awesome. I wish you had more time. I could make you a mod here. So let's read her comments. And this is what I love about the engagement here and the thumbs up. I guess YouTube looks at that. Okay. And then that I don't wring anyone's neck with my words when they show disrespect. So that's the plan. Question is, what in your life is it you're ready to live? Well, I'm ready to move up to the next level. I'm ready to start being interviewed. And I believe, young lady, Sid has asked to interview me. I'm very interested in his recent post. God damn it, I wish I had more time to help other teams, like to go help Southern if they need anything. And that way I could help Sid and Warlock Radio, etc. I love the rock idea. I can sing, but I don't know if I'm any good. But I'm a lifelong rocker, and so we talked this morning briefly. And I believe next month I'm going to be on his, what do we call it? Oh my God, I didn't even ask him what we call it. He's interviewing me. And so I am all about that. I really enjoy these laid back, pagan, especially interviews lately. And I'm very paranoid that someone's going to invite me and then try to roast me, and I'm going to lose my shit when they do. But so far, everyone's been pretty fucking cool. And I think Southern knows why I'm pretty paranoid. Okay. I was just told today by an acquaintance that that scene has cooled down and that I should be okay to come back to social media. But after last year's Drama Fest, man, I don't know, man. That broke my heart and pissed me off all in the same year. I don't want to bring up those names and those groups or what happened anymore. All right. So, yes, you interpret in so many ways. So, for me with the Brotherhood, I'm just going to make sure, my love, that it is desire with discipline. So, that's the little thing we're changing is one, no gatekeeping. And two, I'm going to try to encourage them to keep the discipline. So, we have another one that says, what in your life is ready to fully live within you? Okay. And what that means is what this Sabbath energy is kind of asking you or of you. Truth Carol has some experience, agrees, says yes, and then responds next with number one: joy is not frivolous. Jesus fucking Christ, I can't wait to have answers. They're air bubbles. Joy is not frivolous. It is medicine. When I smile, all right, or really smile, okay, it hurts. I have infections and it's fucking nuts. Every time I eat, I get lactic acid. I was supposed to have an appointment today and it was set for Rockford. Well, if you look at the screen, Rockford's up here and I live down here. So it's an hour and a half away. We had no idea. And I got lost in Dixon, next town over, where they do have an office. So the stuff they had on Google was incorrect as well. And so I missed the appointment. It's literally loose enough, but when I eat and talk, sometimes it gets caught. Yeah. So the nerve's not dead. Otherwise, I just pull a fucking thing out. So you can probably hear it sometimes when I talk. So I was reading your comments. Pleasure and joy are rituals in themselves, just like having a solo session is. Okay. You're producing a sense of joy. Okay. Your cortisol rises during self love. All right. And I too engage in that. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm a happily married man. Okay. So is my wife. It's, as practicers, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It just happens. Who cares? So joy is a ritual in itself. So I guess you could look at those solo things as being a ritual, I guess. But you can't count it that way if you're thinking about Johnny. All right. I would think if it's a ritual, it's going to require two people, or at least to have an intention of what the climax is going to be for. So they are rituals, but with good intentions. That's what I'm trying to go for. And the moderation or the discipline that you can get just as much joy and pleasure in celibacy as in the sexual sense. Oh, I just verbatim what she said. I hate when I do that. I'm sorry, honey. Do we have any more comments? No. All right, now we get to the part about how Beltane is not just about fertility. Okay, everyone's just like, Beltane, it's time to F. I get it. It's because it's fun and it's easy and everyone likes to get a little groovy with it, or put a hat on or get dressed up. I don't know. I don't know what you people do. Do whatever you want. I don't judge you, man. Don't judge you all. Just be happy. All right. Be happy. All right. That's why I'm so apprehensive to return to social media, because I just busted my ass for 2 months straight on this channel and Patreon. Now I got people going, no, it's cool to come back over. I'm like, fuck. All right. I couldn't get people to leave me alone on social media. There was personal attacks, and that's all I'm going to say. Okay. So most people will chase this holiday, all the new timers coming from talk or from the beginner groups on social media. I'm sure most of them will approach it the wrong way. Most of them will chase pleasure without direction, desire without any discipline or structure. We're trying to channel in desire as we light those fires. Growth without structure becomes nothing but chaos, and I'm a chaos witch, so I can tell you all what happens. All right, if I don't keep my emotions in check, Southern can tell you all. She's been that's how I think that's pretty much how she met me, is when I was spitting and screaming in lives, and she would just go, man, this man's a firecracker. He's a fucking maniac. And then I would calm down, and then she would see the good side, the articulation. And I've come a long way from a year ago. Okay. I was a maniac. I don't like it when people morally disrespect me. All right. And I've had to learn to bite my tongue. Growth without structure becomes nothing but chaos. We want that balance. Think about the magician symbol, okay, happening with your heart and your brain. God damn it, Tobias. You can do this on camera. I can do this. See, it's because I don't have the left eye. It fucks with me. I have to actually see it. Because I can't see it with that left eye. It fucks with me. You guys can laugh. Go ahead. Right? Everyone needs a laugh right now. You're going to have a laugh at my expense, but it's not funny. It's like this half of my face is gone. Right? The first thing I said when this happened was take the eye out, and the retinal surgeon was like, "That's a little extreme, don't you think?" I'm like, "Fucking take it out, man. It don't work anymore." I've literally come this close to almost walking into a car going 45 because my ears didn't pick it up in time to stop me. It was literally this close. I literally went, "Holy shit!" All right, and then I went to my surgeon. He's like, "You're not, you can't go to disability with that." I'm like, "Dude, I almost died." And then I went to an attorney. He's like, "Yep, nope, doesn't matter if you got hit. You can't call yourself disabled." And I'm just like, man, the whole world's just on some whack shit. So there you go, guys. Back to Beltane. Okay. What is it you want to live for Beltane? Is how I'm going to put our lovely's question. Gorgeous moon dancer. It's in the moment in life where it says, hey, there's something in here that wants to grow like outside, that wants to expand like a flower. That's why they call it the flower moon, Chris. Wink, 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 wink. Come on, man. Take some notes if you're learning there, young man. Okay? Because you can expand it. And if you can expand it, it can become more. And if you can do it from within, relighting the fire of your creations. If we go back to the witch's ruins, where we pull those cards up, where you're relighting those feminine creativity qualities, especially, all right? While you're relighting your love with your lady. Wink, wink, wink. It does wink, just very slowly. It's very slow. I think it's dying. And I told them when it dies, take it out and I'll get a patch. I have a patch around here somewhere. I didn't know who would make fun of me more, actually, is if I wore a patch, if people would call me a witch pirate, all right, or if I just left it and people would just call me a freak. I'm a freak of nature, anyways, okay? I don't care what people call me. So, I can tell you, though, this is exactly why people in the world feel very overwhelmed right now. Georgia wildfires aside. This question, right, that we so eloquently asked is asking, where are you directing your life's energy right now? Now you add the Scorpio full moon and that shift and that transformative energy. This brings depth. It forces you guys to be truthful internally. You can lie to me all you want, okay? This is kind of like a pagan celebration, but with the full moon, it's going to ask you guys to be honest with yourself. That's where the full moon comes in, okay? In the pagan world, we make 30-day plans, okay? So we can't lie, all right? We can't cheat, we can't steal. Now you can kind of understand what we're going for here, right? So fuck off with it. Ask yourself, like she said, what is it you really want? What do you want to breathe life into? What do you want to manifest? What do you want to bring forth? What do you want to be seen and heard as? That. So, if you want to start thinking about that, it is Monday evening. You got till Friday evening with us. We're going to be doing it late. The hardcores will be doing it at sunset. I don't know, man. It's been a minute. I was up this morning, so I never know. I tell you what, here's what we'll do. I'll make a compromise. If I find myself up early-ish again tomorrow, I will fully commit to being up at sunrise. All right, we'll do something special together earlier on channel here, and then I'll just do 7 p.m. with the Brotherhood. That would be fair, okay? But we have to have crowd reaction, yes. We're going to use one candle, okay? And we're going to make sure that it's not a performance. We're going to make sure it's more of an alignment, that we're channeling. So that way, we're going to be putting out better energy. You want to draw in better stuff. Remember, keep digging, keep doing that self work, that shadow work. Get that garbage up and out. talk the dark away, whatever it is. It can be your past, right? It can be the fact you need help now. It can be the fact that you're depressed now, okay? Whatever it is. The ritual itself will be something like, I do not chase energy, I direct it. I do not fear intensity, I structure it, okay? And lastly, my desire is not random, it is information, okay? So, as she said up top, what is it you want to live? You're feeding the deities, the universe, information, right? So be as explicit or on point as the kids say these days, dead ass, all right? That's me being dead ass. That sounds so weird saying it. It does not sound normal to someone my age. I'd rather say I'm dead serious. The kids are saying it left and right, so I had to try it. And watching myself say it and feeling myself say it, it just felt like I just tried to tell you guys my first Chinese phrase. It just, bleh, my tongue didn't know what to do. It was like, you want us yeah. My brain was like, that doesn't make any sense. All right, so ask yourself what you really want for Friday, all right? And commit to it seriously, okay? Do you. And lastly, I choose what grows is the end of the ritual. I choose what stops. And then you're going to visualize the one thing that you want to live, okay? So beautifully put. I love how she put it. Joy is not frivolous. Joy is medicine. It's medicine for the heart. It's medicine for the soul. It's medicine for the mind. It can also be medicine for the eyes when you see something attractive on screen. Hopefully, I'm attractive enough, or something behind me is. And I've probably went well over an hour. Yes, I have. So you guys tell me if you want me to continue or if you want me to wind down. Okay? I'm going to make this an hour and a half. Hour and a half times 5 is 8 hours a week. That's a lot of time to be talking, but I don't mind. Already did. Okay. So desire without any structure just creates chaos. That's why so many chaos magicians struggle. And that's why so many times they fail, but they're good at learning at trial by error, or at least they should be, you would think. So, that being said, the ritual is not about feeling powerful, all right? Especially when we're going to be barreled down upon by gorgeous, sexy ass Miss Luna in her full glory, full energy, okay? Embracing us Scorpios, making most of you feel like you're going to lose your damn mind. Y'all going to make me lose my mind up in here, up in here. I'm going to sit here and lose my mind up in here, up in here. I really don't remember the song. I just remember that one line. So, it's not about feeling powerful during the ritual. It's about trying to get you guys to slow your brains down, focus on one good intention, one good desire. What is it? Maybe it's a bucket list dream like me. I've always wanted to be in a rock band. I don't know how well I sing. I think I'm okay. All right. Really hard to say. I could tell you guys who I can sing. Fonda says I'm all right. I don't know what that means, but I can sing I'll Leave a Light On, that song by Papa Roach. I can sing that a little bit. I can sing Three Doors Down, Landing in London. I can sing Hinder. Um, Deserve Better Than Me. I've sung that literally. It's been recorded. What else have I sung? I think I've sung on actually in Brotherhood of Male Witches. I've sung before. I sing a little bit of Jelly Roll. every now and then. I can do some ballad songs. Can't hit all the notes on some of them, but I'm not too bad. So at the end of the ritual, after you're done channeling, okay, stuff into you, and you've lit your Beltane fires, which will hopefully relight the desire with you and your personal relationships, will relight the love in all your relationships, will relight the spark in all your friendships, and will relight the desire and passion for people to be attracted towards you, to work towards you, to work with you. Sorry, not towards you. And to want to collaborate with you. All right, or be a partner. It will be about becoming stable enough to handle your personal power as you learn to step into your personal power as a new hat or a new broom. New hat is a gentleman, new broom would be a lady, okay? For those who may not know. Not much to it, my friends, okay? This should not be about prove. Oh, nope, sorry, that was about paranormal. We don't need that. That is it. I think I have done my job. I think you guys kind of understand what we're going for the Beltane ritual. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Ask Me Anything phase. If you guys have anything paranormal you want to ask, feel free. If you have anything pagan or witchcraft related, feel free. You can even ask me personal questions on this channel. No, we don't have any personal questions because the ritual is talking about abundance in your life too. Yes, already did. Just message all about it, dear. You got it. So other than that, hold on. She had a good part. I already read that part. Good. No questions then. Good. Am I going on all night? No, I'm not going to be all night, but I can do like another half hour. It all depends on what you guys want. Oh, I'm pretty good on my feet. Let me see what I can come up with for you guys. I can turn you towards now that you can appreciate the room more and it's not going to ruin the mood. Why the hell is that not working right? There we go. You guys can see what's going on is we actually have points at every point of the star. All right. Now, what you guys didn't know is it is sitting on my altar, on top of an altar cloth, on top of a bigger Ouija board, on top of a Ouija board hybrid device. Okay. Interesting. And what you guys don't know in the corner is we have a very sexy and gorgeous, sorry for flashing everybody. So here's to hoping everybody has a crush on me in the crowd. Doesn't report me. Calm down, mama. Calm down, mama. Anybody here that would like to answer a question? We were talking about vampires last week too, weren't we? That's right. We were talking about channeling at the end of the live streams and how the world is so loud and the world demands everything and expects everything from everyone and everything because don't you know who everybody is? And we were educating everybody how I've come up with the theory that what I truly believe is people are using their profiles as some form of activism. And you know, the ones I'm talking about, the ones that seem to come out of their shells and they jab a whole bunch of people in certain communities they just don't like. And then they go behind their profile and hide like they are impudent. All right, acting impunitively, like they can just go back behind their little hidey holes. All right, and I truly believe people are using it as a form of weird, fucked up, self centered form of activism. Okay, and so remember that out there. Okay, and remember to grab somebody next to you in the community and bring them up if you have a little bit of success. That's the whole point of networking. It's the whole point of collaborating. It's the whole point of becoming partners like we are with Witchfinder Dating Social Coven. Okay, and they're not just a dating coven. We are actually featured there. I am kind of like an admin, if you will. All right, when people need to be kicked in the teeth, I kind of help make respectful and call people out in that way. I address behaviors in a positive manner, like what the heck are we doing this for? Everybody, respect is law type stuff there. And so I do that a lot. I help at least several groups, and if I had to guesstimate as to the amount of people I'm trying to help corral and keep under some form of control, as far as other teammates seem to be looking at it, I would guesstimate I'm helping and serving probably roughly 50,000 people on a daily basis, depending on the groups in a total. Okay, so that's a lot of people to focus on. Okay, you got to learn how to choose your battles. You have to teach yourself emotional discipline. It's not always easy. So remember out there, it truly is a jungle. Okay, that was kind of where the mantra came up. Right, I've been an old rocker my whole life. That song is one of the most popular in the world and it seemed like a perfect mantra. We like to party down and have fun with each other, be laid back, but don't take shit from us either. All right, we have a little bit of action here this time. I don't like that. I wasn't paying attention, so let me focus. Is there anybody here? Is everybody in? Is everybody in? The ceremony is about to begin. That's the doors. Can you find me soft asylum? I can't make it anymore. The man is at the door. Somebody's here. Would you like to answer any questions? A little bit. I actually tried to push it with my mind, but I need a lot of practice with my psychism, so I doubt I affected it. But this is my newest baby. This is a solid piece of turquoise. The chain's a little long, but big shout out to Black Cat Minerals of Gurnee, Illinois, in the second biggest mall of the country, Gurnee Mills Mall. And it is literally shaped like a dollar sign if you're flying over it. No shit, true story. And that is where I spent my teenage years. You know how many times I walked by that? Well, actually, I walked in that store a lot as a child. I would get crystals. There used to be another store I was more in love with called Horse Feathers. And I used to have a actual Seuss hat made by Dr. Seuss himself while he was in prison. And some jagoff stole it from me in high school. So I will actually, now that I think about it, I want to look one up and I'm going to own one again. So that is my newest mission in life is I will own the black and white Dr. Seuss hat that he made from his prison cell before he died. I will find one. It was actually about this big and it was reversible. And it is the classic Seuss hat. And yes, I pull the look off very well. I like it. That's what I'm going to do. So, my friends, we have some more comments. Abundance. This ritual will be talking about abundance in your life too. Yes, it will. Truth Tarot Reading says, okay. Christopher Stant says, I will not be going on all night, just another half hour. Did I ever find out what knocked that? Oh, I did not what knocked that off last week. That's right. So I'll show you guys. We were sitting here last week. I was facing the other way, but this apparently somehow found its way off while I was sitting over there. And I forgot to go look. So, yes, that happened. Was that Thursday or Friday? Do you remember what day, Chris? So it was sitting next to me. I was faced the other way, trying to beat the sun, I think. So I had the camera faced that way. And he says he caught it, it like slid off. So I want to see what that was. And we'll talk about it during protocol. And our protocol is containment over chaos, evidence over egos. We have a field manual. And I can prove it. Everybody seems to need proof these days. Here we go. We'll show you proof. This is the Paranormal Witchcraft LLC Containment Field Manual for using Structured Authority System for paranormal environments, locations, or homes. Okay? And this is a regulation and authority, ethics, and structured field manual. Founder Tobias Josephson. We are a 501c educational initiative and spiritual initiative, education's hybrid business, meaning we're nonprofit. So there's your proof. All right, we'll go through this together. And then beyond that, I have something else to show all those naysayers out there who keep trying to talk down about this team. They don't like us. Well, here's the other proof, right? So that they can take this and do whatever they want with these two things. Right? Here is the Paranormal Witchcraft LLC 501c educational, and it's supposed to say, and spiritual educational initiative. Ethics in paranormal investigating and researching. Our official declaration and containment standards doctrine. Again, we come from a place of teaching regulation, teaching authority, teaching ethics, and teaching closure in paranormal investigations. Why? Because we are practicers as well. So for us, it made sense going hand in hand. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure why the webcam is doing that. It is self-adjusting. Computer, why the fuck are you doing that? Are you high? Something wrong with you? I don't know if it's because I have it at a certain angle or if the LED behind it is too loud. So let me turn that off. Get comfortable. Oh. Does that help? There we go. How's that? This will be like a spooky ghost story. Ooh. Can you guys see me okay? Now I kind of do look like a fucking vampire. You'll have to forgive me. I'm going to smoke tonight. And we'll go through the ethical declaration, but I'm going to try to keep the smoking off camera so you guys don't have to see it. All right. I think it's a social habit. So here's our ethical declaration at Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. All right. This is containment over chaos, evidence over egos. We reject provocation and emotional escalation. We refuse any fear amplification narratives for attention, monetization, or influence. We recognize psychological dysregulation as a primary investigative variable. We stabilize clients before interpretation. We stabilize locations before interpretation. We do not assign supernatural or paranormal attribution without structured assessment here at Paranormal Witchcraft LLC. We refer to licensed professionals when we feel it is needed or appropriate with clients or in collaboration or any other reason we would feel the need for an added safety. We close every investigation intentionally. Containment is discipline, not suppression. And that's what other paranormal investigators are teaching you all is nothing but suppression, nothing but storytelling, and nothing but paranormal theatrics. Much like we're inadvertently doing here. It's very spooky in here today. Ooh, whatever will happen. Maybe something will jump through this portal, etc. But I doubt it, right? So containment is not suppression. Containment is self-mastery. Working on your emotions so when somebody says something bad to you, Chris, you don't just get mad and hurt for 2 days, right? Containment is self-mastery when it comes to your emotions, right? So you don't have somebody renting space in your head for 2 weeks so you can let something somebody said go out of naivety or just ignorance or just to be a fucking dick. All right. That's what it is. Self-mastery. All right. It'll show up in your paranormal investigation as well. All right. You'll act and talk more like a professional than somebody who, just wants to party, man. Get it? Authority is calm. Ethics always precede evidence in real life. Always. Okay? Safe magics. Now, if you're religious, you might want to leave the room because this might offend you. Now, remember, we're not here to attack anyone else's framework. Okay? But we will say a lot of things that might upset a lot of other popular paranormal investigators. This is a ceremonial grimoire edition that I'm pretty sure I haven't fluffed out yet. Probably going to be pretty basic, but I will fluff it out eventually. The purpose of this manual, though, for those still tuning in, is to use during paranormal investigations. That's right. We're responsibly using magics in paranormal investigation here at Paranormal Witchcraft. It's probably why so many people are afraid of us. makes them feel uneasy. Again, because of the stigma. Okay? This manual governs the ethical and regulated application of all safe magics during paranormal investigations. It exists solely to prevent any magical escalation, any psychological contamination, any narrative inflation, and any adrenaline distortion. Not in our paranormal investigations. If you're going to use magic or tarot, we're going to be responsible about it. You bet your ass. Okay. I don't want to have to exercise your ass. And yes, I have experience. The Academy of Sorcery. I might as well stop and show you that. Everyone seems to go, "What's that?" in their head. And I can hear you saying it. Let's turn on the big light once again and we will show you that. Okay. There it is. Now, I want to point out something real quick here to all the haters out there, all those people who might be religious. I want you to stare at the top book on that pile and tell me what it says. Chris, can you read this book? You read the title of this book and tell everybody in the comments what book this is. Right here. What book is that? Anybody? Can you read that? It's okay. You can type it in the comments. That's a Holy Bible. Okay. That was my mom's. That was given to me when my mom passed away. Okay. So it has a place for me. It is used occasionally. Research. But I have read it in my very, very distant past. There's proof I've been a student at a sorcery academy. Sorcery is different than regular magic. Okay. All these pages were studied. My breaking point was I stopped on page 450. Okay. That being said, this book is meant to do things to protect me. That's what sorcery does. It can protect you. It can do other things. Okay? But that's the only thing I'm going to talk about is the positive side of Academy of Sorcery. In fact, I'll show you my wallet. And it goes everywhere I go. This is actually what my wallet looks like in real life. But wait, there's more. And if you guys want to see the knives, this is the area of when I got my knives. I will show you the knives. They too have a matching patch. All right. And we're going to have some fun now, as they say in Predator now. Oh, I'm going to have me some fun. Oh, I'm going to have me some fun. And people love knives and fire and all that fun stuff. You'll have to excuse me. I have a Papa San next to you. So those who want to see a witch, there you go. All right, there you go. There is the witch hat, and this is a Salem made, Salem approved, a Salem sold witch hat. It's the first thing I bought on my trip. All right. It does not have a tag. Okay. It was made by a local person. All right. Yes, am a real witch. And if you look on my creepy blazer here, you would see some patches and stuff. But let me grab the knives. Okay. Light some incense. Maybe I'll go another hour. I don't know. Let's see. I'm a pretty fast talker. That's my problem. But we can talk about or the book I'm reading by Michael Ford for a little bit. So the deal is last year, for most of our first year, it was nothing but drama. It was chaos. I didn't sleep for shit. I had people attacking me personally, silently, trying to hide it from everybody else on social land, right? And so that's why I disappeared. Okay. I just couldn't get people to leave us alone. There was too many people that just didn't like what I was saying, didn't like what we were doing, and they took it upon themselves to attack us in ways you guys probably don't want to know. Okay. I can tell you I was not very happy about it once I figured out what was going on. Okay. Now, did I use these manuals against them? No, I did not. Just because people like fucking with me doesn't mean I like fucking back with people. Right? Just because somebody's doing baneful magic towards me doesn't mean I'm going to return the favor. Karma saw that. Well, I usually just call karma. Right? So that being said, turn it clockwise for good luck. So they say. And when you do that, it helps put out the flame. Smoke environment going on there. All right. Way too many burgers. And as promised, big ass thunderstorm out there, huh? All right, my friends. Let's get creepy. And I'm just going to move this over for tomorrow. This Papasan is actually the boys' chair, but they hop around the house. So now you can see me, I think. Part of me. You can see the back of the office nonetheless. Got some comments here. Love it, right? Oh, that's fine. I'll make it 2 hours. How's that? Because I can talk quick. Okay. So, grab my knives. We'll get into that. I'll have you out of here because I need to eat too. All right. Everybody loves these. So, here's the same emblem. Backwards. It's heavy. That hurts. That's how heavy it is. So, now, wands traditionally are extensions of you. So, let's have some fun. Now, you actually do have a proper circle. So you would cast, you can describe your protective circles in the air. Okay. Gonna get where I can see you guys. There we go. So, and let's do this stuff, okay? And make sure you're protected. All right. So you get the idea. You're pointing. You're pointing. Pointing, 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 pointing. That's it. Pointing, pointing. It's like a big ass finger. Okay. It just looks deadly, right? And I suppose the reason is this one's made for sacrificial and defending. Okay. Sacrificial, dual blade. Okay. And trust me, even touching my skull on this hurts. And so our old mentor did a great job finding a guy to make these handmade. Okay? And if I have any money left over Friday, I will be buying another brand new set. Hopefully, with any luck, eventually to use as an heirloom. Because I love supporting small businesses, especially when you can make shit like this. So this is a bow line, and I want you guys to notice that one handle is black and the other is white. Okay. It doesn't matter if you're left or right-handed. Okay. All right. A lot of times you'll see this in the tarot card. Anybody remember what tarot card you'll see it? No? Okay. But so here you go. There's a bow line. Has to be cleaned up. I thought it had some nefarious attachments to it. So I did a huge banishing in my largest cauldron, and I put it directly in the flame. And so I have to take my machines and tool it back up, right? Clean it up, buff it out, all that good stuff. But the negative energies left me since then. So the story is I believe these were sent to save the instructor, who's now MIA. He's not MIA, he's in a prison cell. So anyways, I think this was meant to do something beneficial for him, which to me was nefarious. There you go. So, the Academy of Sorcery. Nice. Nice, very good. So the purpose of the manual is to make sure nothing bad happens. Regulation before revelation. Regulation before revelation. Use context before you jump to the conclusion. Like, boom, oh, that was a spirit. I know it. I know it. Nobody can tell me that wasn't a spirit. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it was probably just the wind. Okay? Closure before departure. And that's talking about magic. But there you go. So there's your actual basic altar. Okay? Basic candles. There you go. The facilitator regulates the nervous system of the room. In other words, the lead paranormal investigator regulates the nervous system of the location of the paranormal investigation. We are there to interrupt any escalation. We are there to correct any dramatic language, and we are there to enforce any closure discipline. We're not there to fucking summon Zozo out of my altar here. That's not what we're here to do. I don't want to do that. I don't find it's fun. I don't find it's funny, and he probably doesn't want to go back where he came from. Okay? So that's not what it's about for us here at Paranormal Witchcraft. The idea is you maintain calm tone at all times. We are interrupting provocation immediately, just telling someone you're full of shit, knock that off, or leave the premises. Okay? Correcting mythologizing language, that's a big one. Enforcing hydration and regulation pauses, all right, especially if it's hot out or if it's really cold out, it would be, fire and regulation pauses so people get warm. And then finally, we deliver the final closing statement without deviation from any of these. Okay. So if we're going to use any craft in paranormal investigation, okay, we're going to be responsible about it. There, I like that better. You guys can still see the candles, so you get the idea. I like the creating the tension with you guys. There's nothing happening. No, I'm kidding. So, advanced investigator psychology. Now, it's well known that everyone loves the paranormal because it raises our adrenaline and our dopamine. All right. And so you're getting that reinforcement during the excitement in the dark, expecting something to happen, right? Same thing in magic, maybe. You're casting and you might just want that lottery ticket. Just gonna. It's not that easy. I wish you could just, I'm gonna win that lottery ticket, but magic doesn't work that way. Okay, it really doesn't. You're gonna throw out one fuck of a boomerang. You don't want to do that. Sorry, one hell of a boomerang sounds better. So the idea is we want to regulate the adrenaline and dopamine. Fear triggers cortisol and adrenaline. Dopamine rewards survival-based stimulation in our brains. That's where we're coming from here as a team. Repeated exposure to these conditions could cause investigators to chase heightened states and misinterpret neutral stimuli as natural or meaningful. Group suggestibility and contagion. This is all social media is. So lean into the camera here. This is what social media is. Group suggestibility and contagion. That's it. One reactive act or one reactive statement influences the rest of the collective's interpretation. Oh, yeah, para whoever is the shit. Right? Everyone just goes right along with it without putting any thought to it. Okay? It's like taking candy from a baby. Documentation must precede discussion to prevent narrative contamination. And I was just thinking, thank God I fixed my bent gutters earlier. I went and bought the gutter spikes. I can actually show you here in a second before we close. Then there's the authority bias. Yeah, I know. I have to charge my computer too. So charismatic leaders influence interpretation. Fuck, I might as well plug it in. Hold on a second. We still got about 5 minutes. Oh. All right. Thank you. I don't want you to do that. I want to finish my live so people can leave. So our authority bias is this. Look, guys, charismatic leaders like myself will influence people in the right way. Right? The wrong type of charismatic leaders, charismatic paranormal investigators, will influence interpretation. Right? The wrong way. They'll encourage dissent and they'll encourage independent reporting before the group's ready to come to a group consensus. Be careful with that, okay? A lot of paranormal investigators are doing that. They're influencing interpretation and encouraging dissent. Trauma projection, here's another one that social media does all over the place with paranormal. Paranormal investigators with unresolved trauma may unconsciously be externalizing internal sensations. Regulation must come before you can call it a demon. Okay? Regulation reduces projection risk. That's why. because most people are projecting a form of paranormal sensationalism. That being said, my friends, I hope you truly enjoyed our live stream. I truly must go eat. Thank you, too, for being the hardcores. Whoever didn't thumbs up, Chris, would you like to thumbs up for me, please? I would appreciate that. And by the way, I do believe you will be receiving your witch's ruins tomorrow, brother. Uh, what Truth Carol and the audience don't know is for Chris's 50th birthday, if you were watching, I let him pick out a birthday present. He picked out Witch's Ruins. All right. And so I pulled money out of my pocket, drove down to the post office, and I have shipped him his own set of Witch's Ruins. So once again, happy 50th, Chris. It's going to be your year, brother. And to all of you, I love each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. You did get him. Awesome. I missed the post then. So there you go. There's proof. I am a nice guy, even though I'm hard on people. So have yourselves a beautiful evening. I'm going to go enjoy this rainstorm and also make sure we're not flooding, and eat and do what Southern was saying to do. Use some laughter and get some joy in my life. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Blessings and blessed be, and merry meet to all the new people. We'll see you tomorrow right here on this channel at 7 with yet another edition of Mini Ghost Hunts only on Paranormal Witchcraft LLC.